Hey kids, it's Mark Miller here. Looking a little orange, I think. What do you think, Rory? Little bit off color here. Let's see if we can get a little bit of color correction in there. Let's drop saturation down a little bit at least. There we go. Kind of a nice, even orangey tan. Let me even hue shift it a little bit. How's that looking? Isn't that funny? There we go. We'll do it like there. Looks like I've got a nice tan there, kids. I promise you I'm as pasty white as a programmer can be. Jetsom's out here. First time I've seen the intro. No overkill there at all, says Jetsom. Yeah, that's true. That was one of the first indications of overkill production. Might be running the show here. Freda the Cat's with us. Freda, welcome. I'm glad to have you with us here. Surly Dev is out there. Rory, of course, is with us. Rory, how you doing, buddy? I had a week off. I had a red-eye flight coming back, Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night into Monday morning, I think. Arrived here middle of the day Monday. Got some stuff done, but slept through all my alarms. Woke up at 9:45 this morning, 15 minutes before I normally start the show, and I'm like, what is... Yeah, but I'm still kind of like, what's going on? Oh, look at this. I just adjusted here. I think I got white balance, automatic white balance is going on here. So I found an app. Let me see if I've got auto white balance on. It appears to be on. Let me turn that off and let's adjust here. Hopefully. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's good to know. Good to know, but let's go take a look at that, figure that problem out. That's my desktop audio here. Hold on a second. Desktop audio is here. Go ahead, Roy, talk to me again. Oh, you're right. You're right. That is definitely not being heard. So let's figure out, why is desktop audio not going out? That's going to be a Skype setting, so apologies for that, but thank you so much, chat room, for checking in with us on that. Let's see here. Audio, microphone, speakers. Says it's going to the right place. Hold on. So Roy is talking. Thanks, Judson. So the question is, why is it desktop audio? We can't hear you. In fact, that doesn't feel right at all. And I thought we had fixed all of these things. Advanced audio properties. I've got something called desktop audio too that I never recognized before. Let's try that. Roy, say something now. Oh, I didn't see it go out there either, though. I almost feel like we have to shame I can't be heard. Yeah, says Rory. I assume I'm just espousing the most amazing, the oratory you've ever heard. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm seeing some weird stuff in OBS, in that I have two desktop audios in here. Let me switch to my normal view here and see what I got on that. I've got two desktop audios. So a second desktop audio appeared. But nothing's going out on either of them. So let's take a look. I think OBS has got hopefully a setting in here to do this. Let's see what we've got here. Settings. Bring up my settings on here. And for now, it'll be just the Mark show with Rory's voice talking into his ear. We were here last time, and I thought I'd fix this audio. Desktop audio device disabled. Let's try default. No, I don't see anything back, but let me click OK and now see what happens here. Wait, give it a second to come down. It's taking a moment to set all its settings. And I'm frozen. Looks like I froze for a second. All right, try saying something.
I'm here. Can anyone hear me?
No, I don't see any indication of you, but I'm not seeing even indication of my audio coming out now on OBS. I think we just lost me too. OBS is not responding. Oh, Jetsam says I hear him quietly. Starting to hear Rory. Oh, there we are. Hold on.
Interesting.
Now say something, Rory.
Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah.
A lot of
so that's not bad.
from my phone near you, maybe.
Can Rory always tell you what to say in your ear? Yeah, I always hear that. That's expositive out there. Okay.
Not sure that would be a good thing.
Yeah, it looks like we don't have our fanfares running. Probably a good thing because I came back and let's see here. Let's come back over into my main view here. I discovered some software that can help me with my Logitech problem, and that software is it's a little intense. It's the Logitech Capture, and it takes up about 5% of my CPU, which is not actually 5% I wanted to give up. So I'm going to switch things around, and unfortunately, it only works. I only get the higher res if I use their software, and it's basically a 5% hit. So I'm still going to work to fix and change that, but the act of changing the resolution changes my position on all of the scenes. So like, and I've only updated about a quarter or a fifth of the scenes. So for example, this one is fine, but if we switch over and somebody like does, that one's not too bad. Let's see here.
Jump to the side slightly.
Yeah, I jumped to the side a little bit, but last night when I was looking at these, oh, there you go.
Wow. Someone help him out of the quicksand there.
That's not bad. That one's not bad. Roy, can you try launching a drone, seeing if the drones are working?
I can give it a go. That's not a drone.
So that's kind of what we're dealing with there. That's Alucard right there. That's one of the characters from our Dungeons and Dragons game. Let me go find Alucard here, and we'll disable him so he's not there anymore. Yeah, chair collapse. Codebase Alpha says. Codebase Alpha's here. Let's get some of these in here. What should we do on this? Should we try? Why aren't the overlays working? Is I guess my question. I thought this.
Well, hang on. You said not working. That was Sex Positive's one working fine.
That was me manually
okay.
clicking on it to bring it in here. Let's see here. No connection be made because the target machine actively refused it. This is the message that I'm seeing in our overlay piece here. I almost think that if we close this down and restart it, let's try it one more time here. I'm going to close down that and try and restart it. And let's kill every instance of Chrome that I've got running, and I've done that. And I'll hit the start button on that.
Interesting point made by Michael Jolly. Looks like the AV is out of sync, and I think I agree. Even on our Skype connection, the audio is fractionally ahead of the video.
Oh, no.
Ever so slightly.
Oh, really? Oh, you're
I'd
right.
say, like, hundredths of seconds, maybe, but...
No, I get you. Now, it's, you know what I'm going to call it? I'm going to call it, it's this problem right here. Build errors, no. Don't, what's this? Okay, now what this means, we got to basically shut down and restart Visual Studio here. And
like Mark is a bad ventriloquist. That's
yeah,
a little harsh, but yeah, okay.
Hold on.
Got your own Mark puppet. It's pretty lifelike.
Yeah. So that's not good. Where's my resolution in here? Preset custom. Let's try streaming preset. Now I'm not happy about this anymore. Priority is frame rate. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. Looks like I've just switched it. Is my now in sync? I don't know. Feels like
Maybe.
it's still off. Feels like it's still off. I just switched to the streaming preset. Auto white balance is off. At least it kept that.
It's not too bad now. I mean, it is only fractionally off.
All right, so we'll go with that for today. And like I say, I'm really not happy with the with this. I'm not. The Brio is like supposed to be like one of the best cameras, and so now I've got a DSLR up here in front, and I'm going to get that set up, but I got to get a power supply delivered, which is going to take about a week for it, so that I can power it up. But I think that's going to work, and without any frames being dropped, that sort of thing, without any delay. So looking forward to that. Thanks for the feedback on that, Michael Jolly. I appreciate that. Yeah. Just to feedback to Karen, my wife, who's sex positive out here in the chat room. Yes, I always hear Rory's voices in my ear, and in all cases except for the show, I ignore what he says to do, because he's always saying, "No, don't do that. Do the right thing. Do the right thing to do that." At one point, by the way, so I'll tell you a little bit about my vacation, because it was kind of crazy. We went to Vegas. To meet some friends from Costa Rica who had moved away. So we had
because going somewhere else to meet people from where you live is a little strange.
Yeah, it is a little strange. But we had two families. Engine installer wants to run. That's CodeRushed. I'm going to go ahead and say go ahead and run it. It's going to take control for a second here of my screen, but I think it's going to go. Yeah, take a week off the stream. The whole thing goes to pot. This is not pot. This is
a very professional.
Something. How dare you, Michael Jolly? How dare you, sir? All right, so we go to Vegas, and let's run the overlays here. Let's get the overlays up and running. See if this one works. This is the one that failed before. This is where we had the locks up. And let's see. Is that coming up? I have a good feeling. There we go. That's starting to run. And I want to make sure we get our connection. We're looking for our OBS connection coming up in here. Get some flickering here, though, that I'm not understanding. Why is that? Never seen that before. Fred does not look that impressed. Yeah, you're probably right. Fred does not look that impressed. What's all the flickering about? Never seen that before. If I move it to another monitor, what's going on?
So here's weird. I'm not seeing flickering, except in the reflection on your glasses.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
So
it's real. This is an awesome movie premise, Rory, where somebody sees things and everybody's like, "No, I don't see him. I don't see him," and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "I can see him in his glasses."
The stream itself is fine as far as I can tell, but clearly your monitor's having issues.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So let's see. It's so... So that's what I'm talking about, kids. I'm down in the wrong position on a number of these, and we gotta get me back.
It's considerably dangerous down at that level for certain things.
Yeah. I'm seeing crazy flickering like I've never seen before, like in all kinds of apps here that's like, what's going on? Who's causing the flickering? That's like a little crazy. Woo!
Surely death is in the house.
Nice. Let me try this. I want to go back in and I want to grab the one I was copying, and I'm going to have that ready. So the next time we go to somebody else, I'll have that ready to paste in, and I'll be able to move myself up. Here we go.
Death is in the house.
There we go. fix those one at a time.
There was 2 of you there.
Yeah, there'll be 2 of me, and as we fix the problem here. Yeah, I've never seen this flicker before, and it's distracting as crazy. Crazy. Let me try closing this app down. And it won't let me close. Alt F4 to close. Let me close it from the... and start it up a second time here. There we go. It's solid now. Nope, it's not. When I bring it over, I think I understand. I'm starting to understand the problem. It is when I bring it over the to use too many to take. Is that, yeah, it's sex positive. Figured she'd be like all in my grill about that. Okay, hold on. Let's see. And the D&D app is flickering according to... Oh, yeah, this is the craziest thing. I wish I could share and show this with you. Yeah, it's crazy. And I bet, you know what it is? It's the Logitech thing. I'm certain it's this guy right here. How's it looking over on the stream? Is it looking smooth? It looks like it's relatively smooth. I'm checking the stream out, and it does not show the flicker I'm seeing. So it's a little crazy. There's Jetsam. There we go. Fixing that up. All right. I will try to ignore the rabid flicker that's making me crazy. Yeah, it is absolutely insane. I wonder if a monitor. I wonder if I can fix it with the by dropping my desktop down to go into my desktop and maybe disabling and re-enabling a monitor. That might be interesting. Although, hold on. Let me see. I'm just trying to investigate the problem. Now it just went away. I brought up desktop settings, and the problem seems to have gone away. No more flicker. Let me bring the pieces up. Look at this. I think we got a show, Rory.
Yeah?
I think I can do this show finally without insanity coming up in my eyes.
40 minutes of prep.
Shh. Quiet. All right, let me bring up every window again because I brought all the windows down. Let's bring up my chat window here so I can see what people are saying, typing in there. Who do we raid? Wait, thanks for coming. Who do we raid? No. I mean, we can start the show, Michael. We can start the show. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you about my vacation first. So we go to Vegas, meet up with family one, and we hang out in Vegas. We see Beatles Love with the kids. That's like sex positive, and we went to, that was essentially one of our first dates, was to see Beatles Love. So it's kind of super memorable for us. We've been in Vegas a couple times since, and we've seen it a couple times to kind of celebrate and hang out and that sort of thing. And so we love it. It's meaningful to us, and we saw it with the kids, and it was super fun. Then we should I talk about that or not? I don't know. It's not super exciting, but I'll go ahead and share it. So my wife has had a stroke a couple years ago, in her 40s, at a young age, and so we went to see a doctor there, and and also I was still having problems with my nose being stuffed, and so we went to urgent care for that because it was still like crazy happening, and so we went in and we met this amazing doctor in Vegas. This guy had autism and a passion for medicine. So the guy is like, he's like, super excited about all things, and, investigating and understanding problems and that sort of thing, and just great. And then we went to a regularly scheduled doctor's appointment. And this guy couldn't be less passionate about taking care of people, and he wanted to take, But the cool thing is our first doctor, Dr. Pan, P-A-N was his name in Vegas. He was available for also to see as a general practitioner, and so everybody had an appointment at the second doctor. It wasn't great. Then we're like, oh well, we're coming back to this other guy. So we had this kind of bad experience, but this awesome experience too as well. I think we left Vegas, drove to the Grand Canyon to meet family 2. So now it's 3 families together in one house. The kids are going crazy, just loving it. We go to the Grand Canyon. Day 1, we take the walk along the rim, which has got that fencing along the side. So there's very low risk of falling out into the canyon. The second doctor spent 10 minutes talking to our 17-year-old about insurance compensation. No time spent talking about her health. Yeah, the guy was like, he thought care came in the form of smiling and talking about his problems. That was, so he's very polite. He wasn't rude, but he was very focused on his issues, insurance compensation, that sort of thing.
I think that could be considered rude.
Yeah. So that was that guy.
I can still hear you. Checking the. I can hear you, yes. I'm not sure the stream can. Testing. Can anybody out there hear me? Okay, yes, Jetson confirms they can hear me. Apparently Mark's got some issues with an audio device. So
Check. Am I sending now? Looks like I'm sending now.
Sounds better.
All right, sorry about that, kids. I went to hit mute, and the whole device just shut off right there. And we got a raid coming in from C# Fritz.
We do.
We might as well show his...
Welcome, everybody.
There's 2 of me. Nice. Normally I'm behind. There we go. Sweet.
Testing out his new astral projection facility there.
That's right. Hey, welcome everybody from the C# Fritz land. Rating with a party of 80. The guy's like a monster god out there, C# Fritz out there with all of you people, and he's teaching you. You know, kids, I have to apologize to 80 of you that are coming in. I am not as great as C# Fritz in the area of teaching. I'm here to entertain, I think, is more what I'm here to do. But that's what we're doing. I'm in the middle of telling you about my vacation that I had last week. So we go to Vegas. Day 1, we're along the rim, walking along the rim. Fences there, everything's cool. Day 2, we venture down into the canyon, Grand Canyon. There's no railing here. My wife is nervous about the kids, right? She's like, get close to the wall, that sort of thing, because, just at any moment, you're like, 3 feet away, a meter away from dropping down, several hundred meters to your death.
She's claiming here in the chat room that you dangled the kids off the ledge of the canyon.
I don't know if I can comment on that. I don't know if that's true or not. But I think in her mind that's absolutely true, and so then it's true is I think what we have to conclude.
Okay.
Yeah, but we also have kids who are like, hey, take pictures of me doing death-defying stunts, and I'm like, well, of course, you belong to me. You have my genetic, you're my genetic spawn, and or you've seen me, do stuff.
Yeah.
I play things like the Danger Game with the kids. So we got some pics. Nobody died,
Cool.
but we had a great time. Just a really great time. When we said goodbye, everybody was crying at the end of it. It was a vacation with 2 other families that, for folks who just came in from Jeff's stream, we had 2 other families with us in Vegas that were from Costa Rica who had moved away. So close friends of the family that we had met here in Costa Rica. So that's it. Copperbeardy's here. We haven't heard Copperbeardy's.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
That's Copperbeardy's fanfare. If you kids, if you hang around here long enough, you'll undoubtedly get a fanfare as well. So I think we're ready to actually start the show and start coding.
Sure,
what do you think, Rory? Let's see what we can do.
Yeah,
Peacocks
we can do that.
Peacocks don't need to lie when they have laser eyes. So it says, don't need to lie? What are we talking about, lying here? I've heard peacocks never lie, says Will Bennett. Oh, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
after a suggestion that perhaps you are a dangerous man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Perhaps.
so the problem with being known as kind of a guy who pushes the edge of safety kind of guy is if you ever screw up once, that's when you get your comeuppance. Everybody's like,
Yep.
we saw this coming and it's your fault, So, all right, we are building a show. Yeah, the edge of safety, asks Hugo Dahl. Oh, let's get Hugo's out here too, because somehow we missed Hugo's. I want to get
Hugo is in the house.
Nice. Just cleaning these scenes up one at a time. Welcome, Hugo. Glad to have you out here. Ask him about my son's broken arm. I explained that, and I explained this on the show. I am on recorded. I'm recorded for all posterity, and this is how it went down. I said, son, don't get hurt. And I walked away, went to the bathroom, and I came back and he had a broken arm. But I said, don't get hurt while I was gone. He was climbing in a tree, and he was only like 8 feet off the ground. Didn't happen on my watch. You were literally he was in view of you while she was performing a play at the, where was this? This was a sailing center in Mystic, Connecticut. So Karen was working as a performer there, and she was on stage, maybe 300 feet away, 100 meters away, and I said, "Don't get hurt," and he disobeyed me. I can't be blamed. It's not like I said break your arm. So anyway, she says not on her watch, but literally while she was working, he was in her field of view as a tiny, tiny little creature in a tree. So I was a pirate. That's right. You were the Mystic Seaport. She was playing a pirate at the time. Stelzy79 says, "Oh yes, when the sharp edge of safety cuts you down mercilessly." Yeah, that's the thing I don't want to have happen. So we're creating a show on Twitch. It is a Dungeons and Dragons live video game that we are creating with special effects that are going to happen live as we play the game. We got dice that we're going to be rolling with special effects on them. We have got
Potion effects, clouds of smoke,
Yeah.
Weapons animating with all manner of special effects. The dice have possibly the most amount of effort gone into them that I've ever seen of any gaming component.
And we have spell casting.
Fantastic.
Spell casting effects as well. And so I'll switch over to that view. This is what that view looks like for the game. And so we're building that game here on this stream. We're building the effects. And I did not, uncharacteristically, I did not touch my computer at all in last week that I was gone. So I did nothing. Fred is here as well. Yeah, that's right. Fred is here. Let's see if I can control Fred, by the way. So if I go in and I do a thumbs up on Fred, and I lost my, let's see, did that work? I didn't see. Is Fred working? Fred is not working, it looks like. So I need to, that's in the Dragon Front overlay. That needs to be a refresh. Let me try a refresh of that. Oh, it could be, hold on. I'm going to refresh the front overlay, but also it could be that I need to send data out to it that I haven't done yet. So I need to go look at that. Is Mark responsible for the broken arm is the question. We're not going to answer that question yet. Let's see, D&D app is not running. Let's run that and send the data over. I think the problem is it would be working. Fred would be working, but we need to send some data over. We'll start up the app. And this is the app I think we're going to work on right here. And I'm noticing, by the way, I fade as I lean over here to the left. That's something I'll fix too as well hopefully for tomorrow's show. That'll be fixed. Okay, let's initialize the player data. And that reads a whole bunch of files up that's got all the player data for the show, including Dungeons & Dragons rules. Yeah, it looks like there is definitely a delay. There's a definite lag in the video. I'll work on fixing that hopefully for tomorrow as well. And then now that I've done that, there we go. Fred gives us a thumbs up. So Fred, I've now got control over there. Guess it depends if the child was mimicking some sort of pirate climbing the rigging. Yeah. Actually, a little Thanksgiving lunch, turkey, dressing, sweet potato casserole.
Thanksgiving coming up?
What'd you say?
Is Thanksgiving coming up?
Instafluff says Mark is well on his way to becoming a cyborg. Yeah, that might be true. Thanksgiving, let's see. I think we had Canadian Thanksgiving last weekend, if I'm recalling correctly. And American Thanksgiving is on the 26th-ish of November, as I recall. It's around that time, end of November. So we've got about another month.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Surly Dove says, good to see you, Rory. Still recovering from the long day.
Yeah, I met up with him on Saturday up at DDD Reading. Whole day of free education in sort of .NET and other computing areas based on just showing up and receiving a great deal of good talks from many good people.
Yeah, good. Sounds good. Okay, so Fred is now working. Let me show you where I want to go with this. So before I went on vacation, we were looking at our shortcuts. And for folks who have been with us, this file used to be giant. And I used to have multiple layers. Like, for example, for a single shortcut, I would have other entries here for the effects. And I remember saying on the show, it's not necessarily the right way, but I'm confident I'll never need to change it and I'll be okay with it. Something like that. And sure enough, just before I left, I was like, you know what? Let's create a separate entry here for spell effects and weapon effects, which is what I did. And I also created a second field here called index. So I've got Chaos Bolt is the name of the spell effect, and I've got different indexes for it, which is just basically to give it a second. So this is going to be the name of the spell, but then I can have multiple effects, and I'll index them.
Alternatives to each other, or they play sequentially, or
well, they're in parallel. They all play together. But I also added, check it out, effect available when. And I added an expression.
I see. Very good.
Because we've got our expressions engine, right? So now...
So they're kind of layers that build to greater levels of intensity the higher your level is.
Right, exactly. And so if the spell slot level is greater than 2, then I'm going to have 2 trails. And if it's greater than 3, then I'm going to have 3 trails, something along those lines. For Melf's minute meteors, here I'm actually looking at something called Melf meteor count. And Melf meteor count, if we go into the spell for Melf minute meteors, let's go look at that. Melf's minute meteors, and we look over, let's see, where is it? Here we go. Here's our code for that. When we, let's clear this so we can get a little bit more contrast here. When we, let's see, as we send meteors off, when we cast it, we reduce, where is it? I thought we would...
Didn't at one point you were asking how many you wanted to cast? Is that what is the reference here?
Yeah. I'm looking for... We're not actually updating the count here. I thought we were going to do this. Maybe I've got the wrong... I'm using the Melf meteor count is... Oh, no, here it is. We are updating it. It's this line of code right here. So offset Melf meteor count right here by this amount right here. So what we're going to do is we're decrementing this. So this is how many meteors we have remaining. And so in the spell effect, if the Melf meteor count is greater than 0, then we're going to have 1 fireball circling the caster. If we've got at least 1. And if we have at least 2, we'll have 2 fireballs. And if we have at least 3, we'll have 3 fireballs. So that's what's going on here. So this is the number of fireballs remaining. So what's cool is we can put the rules of the spell here into the spell itself with what we've built on this so far. And then the special effects will follow those rules. So that's kind of what's going on here. I've added now these two pieces here, spell effects and weapon effects here. And these are for both of these. And what my goal is we're essentially refactoring. So my goal is by the end of the show, or maybe, to be honest, this may just be a here's about my vacation show. And we don't do much code at all. But at the end of either today's show or tomorrow's show, we're going to have this back to working like it was. So, so that's kind of the goal here. So if we come in and we look at this, when we change these over here, normally we would see all the shortcuts appear, but now we're not seeing any shortcuts. So we've already kind of got a broken piece right here. It says, oh my God, don't tell me this is an old people stream. What?
No. No.
We're talking about, wait, Wilma or Betty? Oh, okay, we're talking about the Flintstones. They're timeless. All right.
Yep.
By the way, kids, C# Fritz and InstaFluff, if you guys are not following those two, you should definitely be following both of them. Some of the best coding streamers out there, those two kids right there. Also, Michael Jolly, definitely want to be following that guy. Codebase Alpha is out there as well. And I think Copperbeardy is streaming as well. So definitely take a look at all of those coders out there. So all members of the live coders team. And if I've forgotten any of you and you're out there streaming, let me know out here, and we'll give you some hype there. Yeah. All right, so let's go look at the code and see where I left it. So somewhere out here in the core, in my all items, do I have? Here we go. Look at this. All weapons effect. I wrote this code, but I don't think I did anything with it. I've got this class called All Weapons Effects. I'm using CodeRush's tab to next reference, and it's not moving anywhere, meaning I've got no references to this anywhere. So nobody's looking at this thing right here. I've got all shortcuts out here, I think, or all action shortcuts is what I'm calling them. This guy, if I tap to next reference on this guy, you can start seeing where they're being used here. I've got it used in a bunch of test classes. Oh, guess what? I bet my test classes are failing. Because I've got it, I'm like specifically looking for shortcuts I've now modified and or removed. So yeah, like spell names Wrathful Smite is not going to be in action shortcuts anymore. So we need to kind of we need to fix this thing up here. Is what we need to do. So. And I've just got a little wave of panic because I'm like, wait, how am I going to solve all this? How did I think I was going to solve this when I wrote all this code?
State was I in when I amended this stuff?
Yeah, I basically said, here's step one. And then I said, okay, vacation time. And I spent a week away. So all spell effects, same thing if I do this. So I was going to fix, I think let's work on fixing the main window first, which is this thing here. Let's investigate why we're not seeing anything at all up here. And let's do that first, and then we'll work on test cases maybe tomorrow. I think test cases are all going to be broken on here. So if we come in here, all action shortcuts, load data, all shortcuts. So here, all action shortcuts, all shortcuts. Ooh, we could fix it. We could fix both in one place. We could fix both here. In load data, we call load data here. We could also come in here and say, let's do a breakpoint here. And I'm going to come in and trigger that breakpoint by hitting my initialize player data button in the app. So I'm going to click this button here. And that should get me a breakpoint in the back. There we go. It's a little slow, but it got me here. And now what I want to do is I want to come in here and I'm going to say all weapon effects. Whoops. I think I hit enter there. All weapon effects dot load data. Whoops. My fingers are not. Hold on. Okay. And then I want to do all spell effects. Interesting. My fingers are not going like they normally go. So now I'm going to load the data from the spell and the weapon effects as well. I'm going to do both of those things. Let's just F10 our way through this and see what's going on here. Finger's still on vacation. Yeah, I think so. In fact, I'm hitting F10 and I'm not seeing anything move here. What's going on? Do I have function lock on? Yep, I did. Okay, so there, I'm loading both of those up. I want to just see, I want to go inside of here. And let's see if I can bring up, looks like I can't from here because I need to actually be in there. Let's go in the watch here and let's say all spell, or well, I'll take weapon effects, dot weapon effects. Let's look at that. Do I get a count? 23, sweet. So that
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So then I'm going to call process DTOs, which is going to do its thing on those. But then I want to now add spell effects, like this is what I want to do. And then I want to have something else called add weapon effects. Sweet. And then let's go declare those. And I just use CodeRushed to, you may be wondering, wait, how did it so quickly generate that other line of code there, add weapon effects? I'm just using CodeRush's duplicate line there. It saw that when I went from weapon to, when I was at weapon and I made one change, when I duplicated the line here, I changed only the word spell. So when I duplicated the line spell, it generates it. It says, well, I'll take you back to weapon. So that's what's going on there. Let me generate that method here. And then now what we want to do is we want to say like all spell effects dot spell effects. We want to do basically a for each in here. And we're going to call this our spell effect like this. And then what we want to do here is we want to create a new, hold on a second. Let's see, what's process DTOs do? Where is that? At least CodeRush is on point. At least CodeRush is working. Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to take that as a positive for today. So process DTOs, we go through the data transfer objects. These are the ones that we're pulling up from the spreadsheet. So when we're opening up our shortcuts, so this is what's happening. We're loading all of these DTOs up here. And so we're basically going through the DTOs, and ultimately we're checking to see are there effects on there? Are there windups? We're going to create a player action shortcut for it. And we're just calling from, passing in the shortcut DTO. So that's what we're doing here. So we basically adding to this list of player action shortcuts right here. That's what we're going to do. So that's kind of what we want to do inside of here. So we want to play with, we're going to play with the shortcuts field, and we want to be able to create a new player action shortcut from it. So we're going to say something like this: player action shortcut, call it shortcut, is equal to, wait, we're going to do this. Dot, and I'm going to call it from the spell effect, which is different. It's different from the other piece, is what we're going to do. But actually, hold on. The item effect has an index. If it's equal to 0, then we need to create a new shortcut for it, is what we need to do. So it's going to look like this, and then we're going to say something like, let me do one other thing. Let's do last shortcut, like that. And then we're going to say the last shortcut is equal to this shortcut, like that. Then, otherwise, if the spell index is not 0, then we're going to come in and say, we're going to say last shortcut dot, do we have an add windup? How do we do this? Dot windups dot add, and then we're going to say windup DTO dot from, and we're going to pass in the same DTO here, the spell effect is what we're going to do, like that. And what's going on with this? Last shortcut is not initialized is my problem, I think, right there. So we're going to say it's set that equal to null right here. Yeah, my fingers are not, wow, week of not programming, and my fingers are like, Okay.
Got to maintain that muscle memory.
Yeah, so what's going on here? From, what is from not return? From is returning something different? What's happening here? Add effect, player action shortcut, windup DTO. What's my problem here? I'm hovering over it and it's not telling me what the problem is. Is it because I need to compile? I think that what's happened, and because I'm in edit and continue, is I think what my problem is. So I need to, let's see if I can declare this here. Let's declare this version of that from here. Find the other from. I do have a from spell, but it's still taking, yeah, I'm still okay here, I think. From item effect. Ooh, but is it going to be a spell or not? I do need to know whether it's a spell or not. That's what I need to do. Let's rename this to from spell. So we have two different from spells that I think are in here. Is this going to work at all in, yeah, it's not going to work in edit and continue. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to undo that and rename it to from item spell is what I'm going to call it. So it's got a unique name for edit and continue, and later I can rename it to just from spell if I want to use the overload. Let's go ahead and return null now for now. And we've got that piece should be compiling. Why do I still have a problem here? It's a list. Why did this? Oh, because it created a list because the other one returns a list, and it was doing an overload. So I'm gonna change that to this. Is what I'm gonna do, and now that's happier. And what's going on with my from here? Oh, I see. It thinks it's this instead, and I want to declare this one as well. We're going to call this from item spell like this. And we'll come in and declare that method like that. And we'll return a null here. And I think we've now got at least code that will compile. Let's step through and see what we've got here. Let's set the next statement here. No, let's hit F10. Okay, fine. And then we'll come in here, and then we'll get our first spell effect coming in. Right, like that. Okay, so we got our first spell effect coming in with its Chaos Bolt. The index is 0, and we're going to do this line of code right here. So let's go into it, and there's our spell effect. Let's create a new player action shortcut. So if I type in RI like that, it's going to give me this bit right here, and then I can just come in and say equal to new player action shortcut, and then we want to set some data for it. And this is where that week of being away is a penalty for me, because now I've got to kind of transfer the data across, and I'm not sure what that data is that we're going to do here. Let's look at what spell effect has. What do we got? Brightness. I got something called brightness in here. Do I have something called brightness here? I do not. Well, hold on here. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, this is a little tricky because I have to get some things from the spell. So the spell effect has a name. I need to go into all spells, and I need to get the name of the spell, because the name of the spell effect is the name of the spell. So this name is the name of the spell. So I'm going to do this to get the name, to get that spell. See, it's almost as if I had a plan to do this, that I figured it all out. It's almost as if I knew what I was doing. So then I think I have, once I get the spell, I think I have a player action dot from, and I think I got a from spell. Can I pass in just the spell? I do, but I need the player action shortcut DTO. Ugh. Oh, that's not good. Let's go look at that. Let's go look at from spell. What's it going to do with that shortcut DTO? It creates a from action on it. And the from action with shortcut DTO, it's looking for a description, the add-on dice. A lot of this we can get from the spell. Min damage, that'll all be, we're going to need to create a new default player action shortcut DTO. That's what I think I'm going to do, and change the pieces from that. So let's see, new player action shortcut DTO, like this. So it's going to have a bunch of default pieces in it. I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this our dummy shortcut DTO, like that. And so we'll pass that in here. And then we're going to pass in our spell, which is our second piece. We're not going to have any spell slot override, and we're not going to pass in any damage dice to it. And wait, what are we missing here? Shortcut DTO. Spell is that. And everything else. Oh, player. Sorry, we need the player. Really? We need the player. Is the player going to be null? Can I do that? What's happening here with player? Add spell set level player. Hold on, from spell. We do know the player when we're here. Oh, now I'm sad. Sad. Get player from player. We get it from the ID because we're actually player ID from name shortcut DTO, the player, because the player is bound to that. We do not have the player at this point. So let's pass in null here for the player, and let's make sure that this code can deal with a null player.
I got good news and bad news.
Music's not working?
There's very little working in the way of Signal R. In fact, it's been commented by Will Bennett that actually there is a new feature, Auto Reconnect, in Signal R, which might be worth investigating to maybe get around some of our problems. But that might be for another time. Also, just whilst I think of it, apropos of nothing really, over the weekend I was pointed at an add-in for Studio that might bear looking into for our purposes, which allows you to create templates. Instructions of sorts that will effectively, you write this in a sort of a TST file, I think it's called typewriter for .NET. And the idea is that it allows you to decorate or at least go search for classes written in C# in your code and generate equivalent TypeScript classes. So you don't have to write your DTO twice. Yeah, and it reacts to any and all changes. I haven't tried it out myself yet, but I've been told that it can be particularly useful. So maybe we'll think about looking at that in the future. And so with that bad news and the good news, I have small about bad news again, which is I have to go.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
I will catch you tomorrow, same time. We'll hopefully have a little more time.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Rory. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Yeah, it looks like the music is not working with the drone game here. Why is that? And my taskbar is looking a little weird too. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can find a reason or explanation why drone game is not working here, why we're not able to control things, bring out drones. I'm not seeing any explanation for it here. Oh, is it because we're stopped? That's probably why. We're at a break point. Let's do this. Let's increment by 1. I'm going to let's go down in here. What did I want to do? I was down in exception thrown, object reference, time is null. Okay. Let's do that. Looks like I didn't continues not updating on here. All right. Let's get out of there. So that's just going to kill that app. Surprised to see you stayed to the end of DDD on Saturday, Roy, says Early Dev. Let's try one more time with the music. No, music is not going in here. One more time. I'm going to try refreshing the drone game. Loading that back up. Can we start the music? Not working. I'm gonna shut down. I want to get that music going, so I'm going to shut down the overlays and restart them. Is what I think I'm going to do. Shut down. Shut down. It says a WebSocket client disconnected. And let's go get the overlays app up and running. Kill Chrome. Start it up. Then we're going to refresh the drone game again one more time. Refresh cache of current page. Let's do this as Mr. Announcer Bot. And one more time with the music command. And I'm not hearing the music. Why is that? Let's hide Fred a second. Yeah, there's definitely no bot right there. Huh. Oh, there it is. All right, cool. There we go. I'll take it. All right. Let's go back to the D&D app. Let's go take a look at where we were here. All right, so we've got a bit of a problem in our shortcut DTO where we're this point right here, there are pieces in here that we can set from the spell itself. Let's see what we can set across here. So, I think there's time. So this is like one of the things that we can do here. Spell dot, I think it's casting time. There it is right there. So casting time, I don't know, let's play with that for now. Let's set a breakpoint here. And I think what's going to happen is when we get to there it is, get turn part. When we get to here, we're going to need to add some pieces in there, is what we're going to need to do to support the new pieces we're talking about, the new enum elements. In fact, we could probably come in here and do it right now. Like that. I think that's what we're looking at. All right, let's try running, see how close we get. All right, so starting up, clicking initialize player data. Should get us some breakpoint. Hopefully we still got a breakpoint out here. Looks like I do not have a breakpoint. Try one more time. Here we go. So spell effect. So right now time is null. Let's see if this one's fixed. Nope, I don't want the time span. I want the element name. That's not what I want. How do I do that? I don't know if I want this. This may be more than I want. I don't think that's what I want. Get name. Bo Bennett says, let's ask the cat. The Pudding's out there. Pudding, welcome. Glad to have you out with us. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, cool. So this should be enum dot get name. Oh, interesting. Oh. This is not an enum coming in. I thought it was. So hold on. We don't want this. We want something slightly different. I think we want something like this. If spell.castingtime equals a D&D timespan dot one action, then my shortcut DTO is equal to 1A, like that. That. Else if it's equal to 1 bonus action. That right there. Then it's going to be 1 BA. And then we got a reaction. 1 reaction. It's going to be 1 R. I think that's what it is. Let's just double check those constants. Yeah, 1A, 1BA, 1R, and then the other one is special right there, which is a star. So then we're going to say, otherwise, the shortcut time is equal to star. Like that. So that should take care of shortcut time. So set next statement. All right, can I do F10? All right, so just for folks who not you have CodeRushed out there. Frackberg is in the house. Welcome, Frackberg. Glad to see you. Yeah, you finally drowned me. I came back though. All right. So for folks who don't have CodeRushed, or I'm sorry, for folks who do have CodeRushed, I got this line of code this quickly. So I think name is on the clipboard. So I typed in if space SN for checking to see if it's set to null. And then I came down here and I typed in R -1. Whoops. I went back. Looks like Visual Studio thought I wanted to do ref. And that's what I did there. So that's how I get it. Just R -1 gets me that return -1 there. So there's, no, that's not what I wanted to do. No, I'm hitting Control Shift F10. I thought maybe I'm hitting F9. Set next statement. Object reference not set to an instant. All right. I think I'm going to kill it and restart it is what I think I'm going to do. It's going to take a while to get this cleaned up here. Go back in there, just run it again. Okay, so we got that part. Let's see where it fails now. How's from action going to be? That's not good. What's our call stack? Oh, our vantage string has got to be set to something. We got to set it to normal. That's what we have to do. All right, hold on. Let's go to the call stack here. What? I can't change the name of that text. Oh, wait, hold on. I know what I'm doing wrong. Put it in quotes. There we go. Okay. Where is that? I don't even understand why there's exceptions here. That looks like a mistake. That looks like bad data. All right, let's restart it. Also, it looked like load data for all action shortcuts was called from a couple places. Initialize attack shortcuts. No, maybe not. Okay. All right, one more time. Call initialize the data. We got that breakpoint still. Where am I? Here, okay. I think actually I only need to do this to vantage mod. I make it a get element, vantage, stir. Do we initialize this anywhere else? Just in those places. Let's go look at the data. Shortcuts. Vantage mod is empty. It's an empty string, so that should come in as... that should work. Okay. But I'm thinking some of these others may not be anticipating null coming in here. Yeah, like is checked as well. Let's go back to the DTO. Let's see how we are. Yeah, we're not initializing any of these to flat out strings. So let's go ahead and initialize all of these. So if I do this, I think this is going to be better because I think what's happening is it's just putting these all empty strings. And I think that's going to fix some of our problems here. So let's abort and restart it. Lose my breakpoint. Lose my breakpoint right there. Waiting to get here. All right, there we go. Got it. It's a nice song. Super dramatic. All right. Got the casting time. See how we're doing here. So the get dice roll type, this we should be able to infer from the spell type, from the spell. We should be able to find out if it's an attack or not, and if it's Chaos Bolt in particular, we should be able to figure that out too. So let's look at dice roll type, and I'm going to keep running through this till we get out of this function. And I want to work on dice roll type, get that done. Okay, player ID, here we go. Okay. Then we've got this here. This is, I don't think this is going to work very well. Yeah, return null here. Do I have auto rotation here? I do not. I do have rotation now. Okay, and I have brightness. I think I have that XFR template. Yeah. And then let's change this to this. And then we'll kill the pieces we don't need. What do we have in spell effect? I'm effect. We have in... Oh, we have a bunch of case issues here. Not named the same case. Hamster, angry little hamster's here. Glad to have you back with us too. Will Bennett says, just so you know, my best friend is a squirrel. I think he loves macadamias. Speaking of Will Bennett.
Is in the house.
There we go. Will's back in the house. It's already a double here. So we don't need to do that. That lifespan is also similarly... Oh, check this out. Hold on, I got a CodeRushed issue I want to call attention to here. Right here, kids, if I hit Control Space, I'm seeing nothing here. I can tap Control for options, but nothing's in the list here for this. I'm not sure why that is. Let's turn off IntelliRush for a second. Control Space, no suggestions. So it looks like there's a no suggestions issue here. When Visual Studio says no suggestions, we need to say no suggestions as well. No suggestions, that's what we need to say here. So let's document that. No suggestions. Boom. So there we go. We've just reported the CodeRushed issue for the dev team. Angry Little Hamster says, found out the bot told me I'm only level 1. How do I level up? One way is by executing the drone command, which looks like this. And yeah, coins and show views, says Will Bennett. So that's kind of what you're looking for. If you collect coins or you watch the shows, you can become get higher level. Also, I think I've got a command in here to level up too as well. What's my level up command? Let's see if I can find that. It's been a while since I've leveled anybody up. I'll level you up just for being here and asking about it. This is where I think my... Oh, you know what? I thought my commands are here, but I just realized... What is it? Surly Dev just did it? Level up? I think that's it. And then let's see what happens.
Level up.
Did that work? I don't think that's the right one. I was thinking it's here, but I don't think it's here. I think this code, I think the answer to my question is in the code. Let's go find that. It's going to be Mr. Announcer Bot. It's just a plus. I do a plus and Angry Little Hamster's name, I think, afterwards. Ah! Trying to copy Angry Little Hamster's name while chat messages are coming in. There's the copy. And, is that gonna work? I feel like I'm getting close. Oh, I need the, as an argument, I need plus @ symbol. Huh. Can I set a breakpoint here? Try it one more time. Maybe am I getting there? Not getting there. Oh, I know why. That's got to be command plus angry little hamster.
Back to the code.
Fine. Fine, certainly Dev. Boom. Whoops, not there. Hold on. I think I got it though.
Level up.
Boom! Look at that. Cool. That's my command. Now you're level 3. Okay, so that's done that. Let's go back to the code here. Let's go back in here. Lifespan. What's going on with lifespan here? Oh, there's nothing in here for lifespan. I'm sorry, now I'm getting it. Because there's nothing out there. Fade in, there's no fade in, fade out, I think. Is that true? Is there really no fade in or fade out? There's only the fade. Okay, so I think it goes like this. If spell effect.fade, that's Boolean, then the fade in is going to be, I think 500, and the fade out is 900 milliseconds, as I recall. Okay. This is going to be hue, saturation, brightness, start sound, end sound. Do I have a description? No description in spell effect. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't need a description there anyway. Rotation, don't need to call get double there. Practice your level up command again, Mark. Says undefined process. Let's try that. Bang, @ symbol, undefined process. Boom.
Level up.
There you go. Not bad. Cool. What else? Oh, get ints. I don't need them here. Working our way through this. Auto rotation. There's no auto rotation. There's nothing like auto rotation in here. So we're going to leave auto rotation unset. Degrees offset is in there. No velocity. There's no offset. Wait, there's a left right, I think. Isn't there a move left right? So we're going to say we want to make a new vector here. And it's going to be the move left right and the spell effect move up down. Right? There you go. That's my offset. No force acting on it. No force amount. Play to end on expire. Got that. Degrees offset. What's going on with degrees offset? It's a double. What's this? That's an int. Okay, so we'll say math.round. That, and then I'm going to use a CodeRushed template called CI to cast to an int, like that, to just give me that int in parens. Flip horizontal. Flip vertically. No flip vertical option yet. That's okay. From item spell. So holy cow, that looks like it's not bad to get that part of it. So that adds the wind-up pieces to it. But I really think this one is going to need some more to it right here from item spell. Let me step into this one more time. And actually, the Vantage mod, we don't need to initialize anymore here because we're already initializing that. Let's see what happens here. Let's clear the breakpoint. Let's get out of this. Get out of this. And I've never added it, so I need to come in and add it here. Like that. And let's run it. Whoops. All right. All right. Are we any closer is the question now to seeing? We are not. Nothing in terms of the effects right here. So we need to figure out why aren't we getting any buttons up here. Because they're not assigned to any player, any person anymore. I think that's part of the problem. This is assigned to players here. Okay. Yeah, so what I did is in players, I specified now their weapons and their spells as new categories. Let's see if I'm loading those up. Just trying to remove my drone, blocking my view. If you guys want to remove the drones, I can do this. Actually, I've got one command that'll take them all out. And another way to remove the drone is to fly it out like right around here and then type in the SWAT command. Pudding is laughing out loud. All right, I want to check. I want to go into all players. Got 7 players out there. And do we have the spells?
Dude, check out the chat room.
You say I can do a drone and a -1 to get rid of my drone? How is it you know that, Will, and I don't, is my question. Did we add this and I just forgot about it? Wow, stunning. Oh, and check me out. I'm down low over here on this view. Let's go grab that, fix that. All right, cool. All right, so it looks like we don't have the spells and the weapons here yet. So I need to add those, and we need to get those into the player. So let's go ahead and we'll run that. Run it. I actually want to just, I'm going to kill it because we need to get that data in. So let's go, where are we at here? Let's go out here, go to folders, copy that to the clipboard, come back into players. I don't think I've saved this data out yet. Players, and I want to export this. Yeah, just a second, kids. I'll look at the chat room. Give me a second here. Export this. Put it out over here, and we're going to play players. Yes, replace it. Drone portal number. Destroys the drone and relaunches at the portal. Oh, okay. Surly Dev says, I want to add a command so I can fly around and grab the unused drones and drop them in front of Mark. Yeah. I want to do that too, Surly Dev. Kind of a cleanup feature. Where maybe if the drone hasn't moved in a while, it becomes vulnerable to attack. And then you could drop a meteor on it and it'll blow instead of catching it, for example. Okay, so now we've saved players out and players got new data in it. Players got this thing called spells and weapons and ammunition. I've added all of those. So we need to go out to the player DTO. Let's go find that. Player action shortcut DTO. No. It's the player DTO. player action shortcut DTO? That doesn't make sense. Don't I have a player DTO? Where's all players? Where are we getting that from? Are we just straight loading it up? It's character DTO. Sorry. Okay, character DTO. Oh, good. I've added weapons, ammunition, and spells. Am I just not converting them? Ooh, add weapons from. Hold on. Maybe I am doing this. Nice. It looks like I actually did write the code to deal with these now. Add ammunition from, add spells from. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's go back to all... I think I have a fundamental logic problem here. And it's here. Yeah. Here's my problem. My logic problem is here. It needs to go something more like this. All players dot players. And I think it looks like this. For each player in players. Then I want to say add effects, add shortcuts, player.add shortcuts, like that is what I think I want to do. Hold on. Yeah, and I'm going to comment this out for now because it's not quite that code and it's not quite this either. Pudding says, I've decided to code my own bot as well as a free time project. Cool. Maybe Fanfare should destroy all drones. You get way... Well, Bennett says to Surly Dev, you get way too excited about pumpkins. Need a moment on the couch. Okay. Here's what I think I want to do. Add shortcuts and put it in players. And do I want player, though, to know about shortcuts? I don't, because player's down below. Let's do this instead here like this. Add shortcuts for, and we'll pass in player. Let's do that instead. So let's declare that. And now we're going to have that missing player that we had before. And so we want to do two things. We want to say the player.spells. What is it? Known spells. Right? Yeah, that's perfect. So it's going to give me a known spell. Sweet. Okay. So now I'm going to say like that. And then I'm going to do something similar down here, but I don't know if I should really have copied this, but it's going to be weapons. What is it? Carried weapons, like that. And carried weapons is of type carried weapon. like that. All right, so this is more along the lines of what I was initially thinking. So let's do that. Declare that method and declare this one. And now we need the weapon shortcut. So now we need weapon shortcut. We need to get the weapon effect for that. So let's see. All weapon effects dot get all sweet carried weapon dot name. This is going to be much better. And then we're going to say weapon effects like that. And then we need a similar bit of code here. Actually, let's duplicate the line here to get what I wanted. This is going to be the known spell.name. Be sure to put a self-destruct command in. And in the terminate all humans command, put a will exception, but make surly dev a priority. Spell name like that. Okay, so now those are going to get my effects. Now, where's my commented code? Okay. Now I think what I want to do here is I want to do a order by here. And I want to order it by the index. Like that. And then I want to list that out. So that's what I want to do here, and I want to do the same thing down here below. So in case these get out of order, we'll fix that. So the 0 one will always be the first one. And I think I want something like this. Like that. Let's duplicate that line. And we're going to take that up to here. Or actually, I want to take this whole thing and duplicate it and just copy it, cut it rather, and put it up here like that. And then I want something that says, hey, if I is equal to 0, then we're going to create a new player action shortcut. We're going to do something like this. We actually kind of need a little bit of this code right here. So if I is 0, then we're going to set last action shortcut is to this. And otherwise, we need to add the spell effect to it. We need to go say y end up DTOs is equal to, whoops, last shortcut. Sorry. What's going on? I'm not getting any IntelliSense. There we go. Windups.add. And at this point, by the way, the data for both spell effects and weapon effects has the exact same columns, I think. I'm pretty sure these pieces are exactly the same. So, yeah. So I think this should just be from item effect is what this should be right here. And that'll be the same no matter what, because the windup, that code's going to be the same no matter what. And then we're going to say return the last shortcut. Genre evil. Freda is evil. Now, this is a cool bug we found that we wrote. If I can say essentially anything after the word genre, and it'll pop up right over there. Watch your language, kids, because it's a family-friendly show. All right, cool CodeRushed feature right here. Convert to function. Just put it on the return statement, hit the CodeRushed key, and choose code and convert to function, and it'll change your void to whatever that type is that you're returning. Okay, so here's the shortcut. Well, although I don't know actually, do I really want to do that? Let me undo this a second. Let me go back to here. And then I want to say something maybe like this. If not null, then I want to go to, what is it? All shortcuts dot shortcuts. What do I have here? Oh, because I'm in the thing already. All shortcuts dot add. There we go. Last shortcut. And I just noticed that this is the weapon effects, but I added from item spell effect. Do I have a from item weapon? What's this look like? Yeah, I don't have an item weapon effect yet on this. Let's extract this method out, put this in its own piece. Well, no, wait. All right, cool. All right. Just going to call this DTO. And then this piece was the player. We actually want the player in here. And we have the player here. So let's use CodeRushed to add a new parameter there. Type in player, like that. And then CodeRushed is going to generate that code for me. And then now I can pass in the player here. And that's much better than what we were doing before from item spell effect. And that is great, except for this code is the code that needs to go up above. It's basically from here to here that I want to move here, like that. And then I need my last shortcut up here at the top. So that's my spell effects. And then down here, I need a from item weapon effect, like that. and all the other code is the same. Okay. Family friendly show. Be fully dressed when you bake. I'm thinking ranch goes nicely with pudding if you are a potato. We have over 3,000 different kinds of potatoes here. What? Where's here? Where are you? Hey, why am I so down low? Why does anybody tell me this stuff? Kids. Peruvian. Holy cow. That's awesome. Let's fix this here. Where am I? Boom. Yeah, I gotta fix these. There we go. Back to normal. Phew. That was close. All right. Slowly getting back in the groove here. From item weapon effect, we need to go get something kind of similar to this. But this is going to be from item weapon effect, like that. Call this weapon effect, like that. And now we want to say all weapons dot get. Declare local. I'll call this spell for now, but then we'll rename it to weapon. Like that. We don't need. This is something else. Set weapon. What do we call this? Set weapon hit time. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's going to be a slightly different function, but kind of similar. And then we're going to say from weapon, like this. Does that exist or no? It apparently does. Shortcut DTO, player, and then the damage string is the third one. I think we need to create our own piece here. Let's look at what the code in from weapon does here. We need weapon properties coming in. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff here we want to send in. The damage string, attack type, yeah, so we do need from weapon, but we kind of need to break the pieces down and pass them all in. So what's coming in? The damage string here. Sir, do I got a damage string? Ooh, we got two-handed and one-handed. All right, so we need dual wield. We need to support dual wielding. I think it's dual wielding. No. Let's go look at weapon. The data for weapon here. Weapons. Versatile. Means it has both one-handed and two-handed damage, I think. Versatile, yeah. When I see both data in both columns, it's versatile. Yep, that's what versatile means. Okay, so we want to check to see if weapon.versatile. I don't have a versatile. All right. What's going on here? Let's see. Here we have the from. I really think I want to do this. I want to say It's out in mathutils.is checked. Okay. Then let's declare this. I'm just going to make this a field, though, like that. And now I'm going to come in here and say, hey, if weapon.versatile. Let me just see what I'm doing with damage one-handed elsewhere. So here I'm creating multiple shortcuts based on if the weapon property is melee and ranged, if it has both melee and ranged attacks. And wait, what are these? Are your weapon properties? Oh, weapon properties is already in weapon, I think. Versatile. Hold on, let's go back to where I was. I don't think I want this anymore. Yeah, because weapon properties is set right here. So I can already ask that question from weapon properties. And I've got from weapon here. Yeah. So it looks like this code here, from here to here is what I need. Let's see if we can extract that. It doesn't look like it's working because I've got code that doesn't compile elsewhere. Is that what is happening? Yeah, it looks like it's not available. All right, let's... Oh, no, wait, there it is. Just took a while. Okay, so we're going to say... let's check the parameters here before I rename this. What do I need clean name for? Where am I using that? Oh shoot, I got spells in there. Oh darn. Darn, darn, darn. Okay, yeah, so let's undo that. I did not want all of that. Okay. Here is what I want. This is what I want to extract. Okay, much better. So we'll call this add weapon shortcuts. And the results is the list of the player action shortcuts. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm cool with that. And the weapon and player. All right, cool. So that's here. And I think I need to do something similar with what's going on with the spells over here too. Let's go back over to where we were working before. Okay, let's look at where we're calling this. Okay, and we have to do something similar. All right, hold on. Bear with me, kids. This is going to need to be a list of... oops. Sorry. A list of player action shortcuts. Like that. What? Get the letter S. There we go. Okay. So that's going to give me a list back. This is also going to need to be a list of these. Okay. And then we're going to go here, and then we need to do a for each on that. And then on each one of those, we need to add the windups for each one of those. Because a single spell can have multiple shortcuts associated with it. Like a spell could be a spell I can cast at multiple levels. Same thing with a weapon. A weapon can have a versatile property, which means I can do a melee attack and a ranged attack with it. So several different buttons might be created. And if that's the case, then we need to reduplicate those effects for all those different buttons. So that's what's happening there. Then here we want to try that, add range with last shortcuts. Okay. And I think, so that gets add weapon shortcuts for. And then we have to do the same kind of thing here for the from item spell effect. So from item spell effect, we're kind of going to this code, which we started to write with set spell casting time, but we want to do something similar to this call here to add weapon shortcuts. Right here, we want to do add spell effect. We want to do add spell shortcuts here. So here, this grabs the weapon. Yeah, for the spells too. Okay. So what we need here is this bit. And extract that. Like that. And we need a similar call here. And this is going to be DTO. This is going to similarly change to that. And we don't need this anymore. And we need something similar to this right here. And the clean name is going to be the spell effect name. Right? Is that right? The item effect? Yeah. It's going to have the name of the spell. In fact, I don't need... Well, do I need that? Yeah, maybe I do to set the spell casting time. So all spells get is going to get the first one, but this is going to get all variants of it in case there are multiples in there. And some spells show up twice because they have two effects, two different kinds of. One spell can do two different spell-like kind of things to it. So then we need similar code here as well. And I feel like that's getting closer. See a little bit of the progress bar right there. Oh, build succeeded. Okay. I think my head is just FYI barely wrapped around all of this. Like, do I have a sense of is this going to work or not? Not at all. Let's see what we got. It's Source Scoot. The stream is heating up. I did not know you were Peruvian, Pudding. All right, clicking initialize player data. See what we got here. No breakpoint yet. I'm feeling it. There we go. Okay, so we got a known spell coming in. What's the spell? Dancing Lights. Fair. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh. There's no all spell effects. Wait. There's nothing for Dancing Lights. Oh, that makes sense because we don't have any. But does then that mean we have, if there's no spell effects, then we're not going to add a shortcut for it? I see. Okay. So we need to, let's set a breakpoint in here. And where are we now? Known spell, Firebolt. Okay. So we don't have spell effects. We're not adding a shortcut. That, I think, is a mistake. We need to maybe fix that and figure that out. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, so we got one shortcut that's being added here. Have we transferred over the name? The prefix? No. What am I looking for? I'm not seeing the name of the effect here. So it looks like this spell effect, Firebolt, is not transferred over to the spell effect name. And I think that's going to be a problem. Oh, no, wait. Here we go. Well, hold on. Let's see what happens with the shortcuts. The problem is here in the shortcut, I think. The shortcut name is not correct. And I think that's in... The problem is in here. And it's... The code needs, I think, to look like this. dto.name is equal to spell.name. Like that. I think that's the piece we're missing. So let's run it until we get to the next piece here, the next breakpoint. And now let's see if that new line of code is changed for us here. Oh, because we're in this loop, I see. Hold on, let's get out of this. Let's change the breakpoint up here. Okay, now try it for the next one, see what we got here. Nope, we're not hitting that. Okay, what's this one? Shield, okay. And now let's see if at least the shortcut has the name shield on it. Shield, good. So that name is correct. And I think I want to do this. Let's keep running those and let's just see. I think we're going to have the same problem here in from item weapon effect. We need to say DTO.name equals weapon.name. Like that. And let's just run it. See what happens here. Okay, we got 21. I think this is better because we had... let's just spot check these here. What do we got here? Name is lightning lure. Cool. Player ID is -1. That's not good. Our player ID of -1 for lightning lure is not good. So let's go figure that out. Oh, I think I know where the problem is here. I think the problem is here. DTO.player. This is a string that's equal to the player name is equal to player.name. I think we need that as well. And that'll change. Do the same thing here. So I'm going to run it, and I'm going to hit initialize player data again. Should get to a breakpoint. Let's just set a breakpoint here. Interesting, I'm not coming here when I'm clicking initialize player data. Set breakpoints a little further out. Initialize player data. Okay, here we go. And now let's see here. The shortcut player ID is equal to 5. Way better. So that's good. Do the same thing here. We're not getting here at all. So this is interesting. There's a problem here in this code. Let's just see if... Okay, cool. So check this out. Our actions are now showing up here. So these are the different spells we can cast. And what's really cool is we've got Chaos Bolt 1, 2, and 3 are here. So I switch over to Fred. Fred's got nothing because he has no spells. So the weapons are not coming in. Only the spells are coming in. So Willie's got Firebolt and Shield. But if you don't have a spell, you're not going to see any of these yet. So let's go figure out why the weapons aren't coming in. I'm going to click initialize player data again. Just not coming out here at all? Oh, no, here it is. Okay, let's see what's going on. So we've got a dagger of warning. Okay, I got to go into not the name of the weapon, but the weapon.name property. So this has got to change to weapon.name. This might be the bug. Let's see what happens. I got 2 weapon effects now, and I didn't have any before. Yeah, Dagger of Warning has got, it's going to have some magic associated with it. Effect available when uses magic, this roll is true. So we still need to work on that effect. We can do that tomorrow, but now we're getting down here at least. Last shortcuts, there's the, finally, we never got that breakpoint. Well, let's just run it and see if we now get all of these coming in here. We're going to get them all for the other players. Switch to Fred. There we go. Great axe, hand axe, and javelin. So those are there. Firebolt, dagger, dagger. Now here's the thing. Here we want to use the name of the weapon if it has one. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so for that, where is that going to be? I'm not sure. Let's get that breakpoint again. Hold on. Let's jump out of here. That's the problem right there. So out here we know it's called the Dagger of Warning. We need a new property passed into here. I'm going to kill this app a second. And let's add a parameter. We're going to pass in carried weapon.name, like that. We'll call this the weapon name, I think is what we'll do. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to say this instead. Let's see what that does for us. Is that only going to work on Dagger of Warning? I don't think so. I think it's going to work. Let's go look at the data. It's in players. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. What's that Dagger 2 though? Let's see what happens. Initialize player data. Yeah, it's null sometimes. Okay, what's my call stack here? Yeah, I think I know what I need to do to fix this. Let's... I think this is the fix. That's what I think it is. Let me try one more time. All right, we're running. Clicking initialize player data. It's loading all the data, and let's see what we got here. Nice. Dagger warning is up. Short sword. Do any of these actually work? Dare I actually try it? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's see if we can get out to players out here. Let's refresh everything just so that we are working with the latest data. See just how bad the situation is here. Okay, refresh those, waiting for the scroll bars to get away there and down there. And once that happens, I'm going to call initialize player data one more time. There we go, let's do it. Did I do it? Did I click the button? Yeah, it looks like I did. Okay. And let's change the player. Let's try Chaos Volt 1. Okay, it looks like it's working. It's just delay loading. And what's going on with me here? Why don't we see the looks like it's still delay loading the, there it is. You're seeing them start to come in. Looks like my camera needs to be adjusted. This is due to the, there we go. Sweet. Okay, there's one. That works. What if I want to use a dagger? Do I have a dagger? Yeah, I have a dagger right there. Let's try that. And I think it's just delay loading. You'll see the dagger show up in a second. At least I think you will. Interesting. Only the magic? No dagger? What's going on with their greatsword? There's the magic for the greatsword, but not the greatsword itself. Huh. Interesting. And let's switch to a battle axe. Wow. Also, switching the battle axe doesn't drop the other magic down. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say this is essentially a show. What?
Hugo is in the house.
Magic indeed. Yeah, welcome, Hugo. Glad you're here. I think we saw you earlier, but you were quiet the whole time. Let's go to, let me see who is streaming out here right now. I'm going to send you over to a good friend, Michael Jolly. We'll go raid Michael Jolly. Been mostly lurking and debugging. I think you were previously in the house, but I manually invoked you, I think is what I did. And then we fixed everything, so... Oops, I did the wrong command there. Not raid, / All right. Yeah. So not bad. We got a little bit done, and we got a little closer, and we'll get a little closer tomorrow, I think is what we'll do. Not bad for after a week's vacation, right? Getting back in this groove of things. Kids, thanks so much for being with us. Say hi to Michael. I'm going to get some lunch, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.